The Marvel Cinematic Universe is home to a lot of just crazy and wacky villains. You got a robot, a red guy, a purple guy, a white guy, a naughty dad, and maybe craziest of all, a whole freaking planet. When people talk about the best MCU villains, people never really mention Ego, but he's never really talked about as being bad either. So what is it, good villain or not good villain? On the 127th episode of Villain Review, I'm going to be breaking him down to find out.
My name is Ego, and I'm your dad, Peter.
Millions and millions of years ago, back in the fabled days of dinosaurs and new Kendrick Lamar music, a celestial being known as Ego entered into existence as nothing but a few stray molecules completely alone. Over time, however, Ego would learn to manipulate the molecules around him and turn himself into a planet, and even further than that, the dad from Sky High. Kind of weird, I know. Seeking purpose in life, Ego decided the reason for his existence was to expand himself all over the universe face, just expand right in their faces until the only thing that existed was him. Uh-oh, he's only like a AA battery though. And in order to take over the universe, you need 2 AA batteries. So anyway, Ego starts banging, because he needs a kid. And there you go, there's the origin. I do think it's cool that we have this ancient cosmic being as the villain here, but his motivation, yeah, I'm not convinced. Just like I'm sure many of you, I've contemplated my existence before. I know, kind of deep, kind of existential, but never once have I been like, oh, I think I know what I need to do. Kill the whole universe. I need to make the whole universe me. Yeah, because that makes sense. There very well could be a reason for this specific evil thing to be his motive, but I just don't think it's explained that well. I like the idea of a being coming into existence trying to figure out its purpose, but like I said, I just wish there was a little more reasoning to it.
For the first time in my existence, I am truly not alone!
As far as personality goes, I actually really like Ego, and I think he's pretty interesting. When Ego goes on his banging montage for kids, one person that actually seems to make an impact on him is Peter's mom, because when he talks about her, it does seem like there genuinely was some love there. The fact that he went down to earth, fell in love, and then became torn between his purpose and his love, that's a really interesting dynamic, and with the plot twist, I think it says a lot about Ego's personality and just determination. When he first comes into the movie, he's acting all like, hey, buddy, with like Peter and all them, but I also really like how the darker sides of him slowly unfold throughout the movie. The performance is kind of like all of the other babies Ego had, because Kurt Russell absolutely kills it. He plays the kind, fatherly side well, but also he plays the lunatic planet that's trying to kill everyone surprisingly well. I heard he went really method for this role. He's a villain who is determined to accomplish his goal, and because of that, he ends up destroying the relationships with all of those closest to him. And that's more interesting than a lot of the other villains we've had in the MCU.
It broke my heart to put that tumor in her head.
Ego is in the movie a lot, and that's a good thing because we get way more time to flesh him out as a character. He does have some exposition scenes where he's just explaining stuff, but even those aren't terrible because of how they're done. The first thing that stands out to me, though, is when he's teaching Peter how to conjure up the energy balls, and then they end up playing catch together. I think this scene alone says a lot about Ego's character, and it does make us question where his heart really is. When Peter's able to harness the power, Ego is very excited. I'm sure to some extent he's proud, but more so I think he's just happy that Peter has the power all his other kids didn't. In fact, a lot of these scenes show that deep down, I think Ego does care about his family, just not as much as his own ambitions. In many ways, I think it's a cautionary tale of putting too much stake in ambition, because if Ego just chilled out for a second, he'd live a pretty happy life with Peter and his mom. This takes me to maybe my favorite Ego scene, the big plot twist towards the end of the movie. It is chilling to hear him talk about killing Peter's mom, but not only that, he doesn't try to reason or talk with Peter, who very understandably is very upset right now, and he just goes straight to, okay, screw you, you're a battery now. Kurt Russell's delivery in this scene is fantastic, and I love this facial expression right here as he stares down that Walkman one last time. Hearing the song that reminds him of his love, it almost looks like in these few seconds, all those feelings, the memories, and the love, it all comes back to him just one last time, giving him one last chance to make things right with Peter's mom by sparing Peter. But again, his ambition gets the best of him as he crushes the Walkman as a sailor whose truest love is the sea. He cares about these people, but not enough to overshadow his life's work. I really do think This is an underrated scene in the MCU. I really like it.
Of course I have issues. That's my freaking father. Just as a
Peter's mom, dead. All these little babies, they're dead too. Star-Lord's hopes and dreams, dead. Everything dead. In the pursuit of purpose, Ego does a whole lot of bad. It's kind of crazy. He kind of just like, I don't know, what's the word? Like, whores himself around the universe, just banging as much as he can. Probably never using protection. Kind of sus. I wonder how many diseases, like, throughout all the different races and, like, species that he passed around while doing this. It's kind of like that movie Kids. Hell's wrong with you, man? By the way, never watch Kids. He doesn't really lie to Star-Lord. He kind of just omits the truth, but still, it's safe to say he's not really the best dad, nor just dude for that matter. He also was going to destroy the entire universe on top of being very irresponsible with his body. He's going to kill billions and billions of people just because he wants them to be him. He wants to be them. I don't know. Yeah, it's messed up stuff.
What greater meaning can life possibly have to offer?
I think Ego's motive, it's I. And personally, I would have liked it to be explained a little better, but as it is, it's by no means bad. Personality-wise, I like him though, and I kind of think he is underrated. The conflict within him is one of the most interesting we've seen in an MCU villain, and it tells us so much about how much this purpose really means to him. It's a goal that I truly believe matters to him, and for a lot of Marvel villains, that's not the case. They just have evil goals just for the sake of having evil goals. He has some solid scenes too, and he's killed probably more than every Marvel villain. Maybe not Thanos, but did Thanos really kill them, or did he send him into a rock? Who knows? Also, Kurt Russell's great. I'm going to give Ego a 7.
One after the other, they failed me. Not one of them carried the celestial genes.
Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting subscribe because I make a new villain review every single Monday. Let me know what you think of Ego in the comments below, and as always, who I should review next. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I got a penis.